Hey folks, Green Stuff Gav here. We're back with another unboxing from Hatchet Partworks. Now, if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, Hatchet Partworks are a company that does a monthly, or in this case weekly magazine, where you can generally build model kits, or they do various like colouring books and the like. Now they're doing a thing with Games Workshop where they do a weekly magazine and you effectively build combat patrols and learn the light edition of Warhammer 40,000 10th edition. Now we subscribe, so we get a packet every month. You should be somewhere in the middle. You might need to check your local supermarket and estate news agents if they've got what issue they're on. So we'll open it up, we'll have a look, see what we've got, and go from there. Now these are really good value. We pay a tenner an issue. We got 55, 58, 56 and 57. And we get Boss Nick Rot in the next edition. Excuse me. So issue 55 and 56 we know are going to be the Voltan jet bike things, because we previewed them last time. So let's have a look, see what we got, and go from there. So we've got two sprues. I assume it's a biker sprue. You've got two sides of the main chassis. I assume the wheels go sideways to make them into anti-grav. I really like the Voltan, the squats with these long coats. They look really cool. And again, lovely detail. Axe in a sheath. I don't see a head. We see a little pointing arm. So theoretically, I don't see any spares. Oh, we do. So we got a hand on a handlebar and a pistol arm. Do I see another pistol arm? Yeah. So we got, you can, by the looks of it, you can choose to have hand on handlebar or hand on pistol. That's really nice. I like getting spare bits. These aren't identical because, yeah, there's no heads on this sprue. Got two on here. Chassis. Is that third head? One arm, two arm. Really cool shotgun in a holster. So it looks like there's some options there, but you do need both. Hernkyn Pioneers, part 1 of 2. So you can see the wheel are turned sideways. But theoretically, it might be straightforward enough to turn them sideways if you wanted actual motorbikes. Assembling, assembling, assembling. Story time about the Voltan, about the orcs. Different orc tribes, which is nice. And again, so they do these little background tables, so you can name your unit according to a chart in a previous issue, and then you've got some background, which is really nice. Again, didn't have to do this, but it's nice to do. Now, the Combat Patrol data sheets are slightly different to the 40k ones, but generally they're a good sort of gauge. You can remove the unit if they come off the table edge. Nice. So we've got a campaign game of just Space Marines versus Chaos, because we haven't had enough for the Voltan yet. Space Marines versus Tyranids, and Valkyrie versus Chaos Marines. Nice. Advert, we know that's coming with another two-parter. So As noted, 56 is the other bike and the bases. So that's one full box of bikers. Now I suspect they're going to be 30 odd quid a piece. So effectively we've paid 20 quid. 2 batches of 19. That's slightly different, but I think it's complete biter here on that one. That's a duplicate of the first. Of the second. Nope. Guns are on this one. So there's only slight differences, but I think we're going to have a slew of spare bits, which is always nice. 3 bases. And issue 56. Oh, this one's got a dude on the back. That's cool. Yeah, and it does tell us now how to paint. These are really nice. I like these. They paint, admittedly, we haven't had a new brush for a while, but they paint according to what is doable, achievable by people like you and me. Those of us who aren't professional painters. So it's nice to see this sort of quality paint job where it's actually something we can achieve. Story time. More background, more campaign stuff. And again, so this is the important bit. This is how scenarios work, and these are actually rules. So we've got Kin jet bikes versus Eldar jet bikes. You see these two. It's the last 2 issues we've got. Talking of which, issue 57, we've got the start of these Beserkers. I haven't seen these in the flesh. So we've got multiple heads, which is nice. Is that 2 per sprue? It's not far off. They're going to be a bit of a pain to glue, I suspect. Yeah. Nice solid textures to that. Really nicely sculpted. A few options. Again, so torso, a leg. It's not quite... Yeah, got 2 legs there. So presumably we'll have to look to see how these guys assemble, because that's whether that's interchangeable bits or not. We'll find out. Talking of which, how to build. So these are pretty much the difference with Combat Patrol and normal 40k is you've got set armaments in this. There's no real way of swapping them about. I like this image. This appeared in the early 2000s as a big poster in White Dwarf for all the internals of Land Raider. It's cool. Vehicles. And again, as noted, background and story time for your guys, which is quite nice. And their data sheet. Feel no pain, so ignore wounds. If they're killed on a 4+, they get to attack. Yeah. And again, so we know feel no pain's 5+, and it explains it here and where you'd reference it. That's cool. More campaign stuff. Right. So again, this is almost like the Codex. So this has got a certain things on, so every army has their own abilities. And again, some more into here. But whereas we've got the rule, we've also got a page explaining how the rules work, which I really appreciate. I think is really nice, because this is designed more for those who haven't gamed a lot and helps to learn them the rules. Guard, Genestealer Cult. And it's the old Genestealer Cult Battle Force, which is really nice value. Guard one, not so much, but you see, rest of the Berserkers, and then we get the Boomdacker Snazwagon. So they tend to throw in an extra unit on top of the combat patrols. So for the Tyranids, there was a Hive Tyrant, and the Marines got a Librarian and got Tigarius and a Chaplain. So faces, face to the base, and the rest of the sprue. Again, looking at this, I don't think you can mix them up. Is that the same as the first one? No. Fairly similar, but not quite. Oh, really cool minis. Finally, issue 58, we've got Painting Our Dudes. Again, fairly standable, achievable, not studio paint jobs, but they're really nice. That's the sort of army you'd be proud to have on the table. More background, story time about the squat guilds, and more scenario stuff. So here's the actual rules of the combat patrol, because I think we've had it all now. Well, if we've got an Orc next, we must have. So we've got 10 Hernkyn, which we've seen, the Pioneers, which were the bikes, the Beserks, which is these two, and the boss, which we had. So this is again, so combat patrol, you've got all the armament listed, which I'm not a big fan of, but it does help with actually learning the game. How to paint the fully painted combat patrol, and a scenario using the combat patrol. And again, fairly straightforward, how to win. Instead of the typical, these are the objectives, it's like, this is how you win. So we've got the Snazwagon, we see, I think that's the bonus unit, is unit of 5 heavy armoured guys. Or guys and girls, as the case may be. But again, really good value for money. Because you're effectively talking $9.99 times 2, so 20 quid for a unit. A unit of bikes and a unit of Berserkers. I don't know what they retail, but I imagine they're 30 quid a pop. So saves a tenner. But yeah, all in all, thanks for watching. Be sure to do the YouTubey things, the liking, subscribings. But most of all, have fun.